Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just wait until you feel the Qi of the land pouring up through your body. It's happening all the time anyway. Receive that. Sink into the body. Find your structure. Find your center. Just stand for a moment and prepare for your practice. So let's expand our Qi. So we're going to inhale, and we're going to float out and up, nice and round. Keep floating up. Exhale, hands turn over slowly. Hands float up, soft, round, hanging, loose. They float up. We rise up underneath, look up. Just connect with all the beautiful sunlight. Exhale. Sink. Knees to your toes, hips just ahead of your heels. Pelvis is level like a bowl. Hanging from your head, nice and loose. Inhale. Sink back so your hands float up. Inhale some more. Follow your body up. Look up. Exhale. Sink. Lower your gaze with your hands fall to the sides. So now, as we stand, feeling connected with our body, we're going to sway back and forth a little bit as if we're kelp and we're in an ocean, and the ocean goes this way, ocean goes that way, ocean comes up, ocean comes down. And we're going to see if we can be really spontaneous and intuitive and playful and kind of dance-like as we're going to go through the same practice. But we're just going to let the ocean do the moving. So let's do some weaving hands. So bring your hands up, thumbs up in front of you. Turn to one side, and it's almost like you're hitchhiking and then turning your thumbs in the direction you're going. And you want to move with your whole body and keep your knees going towards your toes most of the time. So I'm going to turn my thumbs, turn my body. Slowly turn my thumbs over and turn my body. So there's a lot of different rhythms you can play with while you're doing this. But at first, slow and just challenging gently, ever so gently, your ability to twist gently your pelvis, your ribs, your shoulders, roll your hands over, keep your body elongated and loose, and also keep your knees over your feet. So we're just going to turn left and right, just weaving our hands. We call it weaving because there's just a slight sense that you're kind of coming underneath of something, over something, along, underneath of something, over something. Just like you would be going as a thread back and forth and through, under and over other threads. It becomes a very nice meditation Staying soft, keeping your up and down, turning with your waist, turning with your pelvis, turning with your ribs. Turning the flashlight one way, turning the flashlight the other way, knees forward, hanging from above. And now we're just going to let the hands dip up and down a little bit more. And we call this infinity dancing because this is sort of like the infinity symbol. You can go a little faster and a little more dance-like, a little more sort of supple, serpent-like movement with the body. Again, we always just want to keep our body loose, our knees facing our toes, moving with our belly button, breathing deep and slow, and follow your intuition. Sometimes it's nice to be kind of a bit stoic, precise, and sometimes, I don't know, it's like you're wrestling a dragon or something. So, having fun with it. Inhale a bit, relax, and sink. Inhale, exhale. Just like you're flapping wings. Let your body naturally move up and down in a way that kind of leads your wings along, up, down. So your body goes up first, then your wings, then your body drop. Settle our elbows and wrists and swinging together. Notice that we can hold a kind of sacred space and stillness. Flap our wings, reach out to the sides, settle, and come back to that stillness. Inhale. What's out there for now needs to stay out there. What's in here, inside your body, inside your awareness and your breath, is here. These are the wings of here and there. Stress can give us some time to practice while we enter into a centered, still, conscious, and embodied state. Future sometimes needs to stay out there so that we can find stillness and readiness right here. The past sometimes needs to be asked to give us some time and some space so we can arrive in the present Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So just turn left and right, using your whole body to turn, not just your hands. So now as we swing, we're going to slow down and reach through our fingers. And we're going to allow our imagination to reach into our arms like they're antennas or whiskers, in the sense that when they reach out, they feel, they interact, and they kind of gather information, if you will, or energy or awareness. So we reach, extending little antennas. We want to reconnect with the land and the energy that's coming up from the land, the energy that's coming down from the sky. So take a look around, and if you're inside, imagine you're not inside. And just imagine the land as far as you can see, or look at the land as far as you can see. And just imagine that it's 10,000 years ago, and one of your ancestors, for some reason 10,000 years ago, woke up every day and went like this. We want to reconnect with the land and the energy that's coming up from the land, the energy that's coming down from the sky. So take a look around, and if you're inside, imagine you're not inside. And just imagine the land as far as you can see, or look at the land as far as you can see. And just imagine that it's 10,000 years ago, and one of your ancestors, for some reason 10,000 years ago, woke up every day and went like this. And they reached out as far as they could see with their whiskers, their antennas, to feel the aliveness of the world, the Qi of the land, the Qi of the sky. So as we do that, nice and slow, receive, gather the Qi that's coming down from the sky. Even if it's a cloudy day, we can still feel the light. So when I feel the light, let that go through all of your cells, imbuing you with that sky energy or sky Qi, Tian Qi. And we're going to turn, focusing more as if our whiskers are rolling along, kind of caressing the topography. And now we're just feeling the aliveness coming up from the land through the plants, the trees, the animals. And then we're going to slow down and come back to center. So imagine that you're an elephant and you're walking along and you're thirsty. So as you're moving, your nose is your trunk, and as your trunk and face move left and right, your ears follow you. And because you're thirsty, you're going to walk into the water. Dum, dum, dum. And now you're about this deep in water. So as we're turning left and right, we're leading with our trunk and wanting our body to be really fluid and floppy. And if you imagine an elephant's ear, maybe think of like a bat's wing, in the sense that it's actually mostly kind of like this, right? It's just flapping in the breeze. And now that it's moving through the water, it's creating a kind of resistance, but a kind of ripple and a natural movement through the water. So as we turn with our trunk, we're dragging our elephant's ear through the water. As you turn your head first, notice that you're going to feel any tension in your neck front of your shoulder, your collarbone, through your arm. So we just want to not strain ourselves, but just enjoy that gentle pulling, that gentle elasticity. So really focus on leading with your trunk. Now you're not going to lean over very far. You're just tilting enough to lead with your trunk. And you'll notice that when your ear comes out of the water, it floats along the surface and then sinks. And this is why it's called elephant bathes its ears, because we're dropping our ear in, turning our trunk and head, drawing our ear through the water, letting the water drip off, sliding along the water over and over again. And the more you can allow this to be kind of a fluid dance, the more your body is just going to play and be soft and be loose and enjoy feeling like you're, I don't know, made of something really soft. So now we're going to shift our weight a bit. And this finger is just going to kind of end up in front of my other knee. So as I'm turning and shifting my weight, I want everything to mostly be on one foot or the other, so that I can go like this. Well, you don't have to make that noise, but and what we're symbolizing here is the elephant stomping on the ground to let the other elephants know, I found some water. Calling our friends to the party. Let the ear hang for a minute above the water, feeling the water drip off. And we're going to use our waist to turn to see if we can pick our ear up like it's following the sun from sunrise to noon to sunset. And 1, 2, the other ear coming out of the water, hanging and dripping, using your waist so that the back of your ear feels the sunlight, and then from noon on, the front of your ear feels the sunlight. We go 1, 2, the water drip, use your waist, back of the ear gets some sun, front of the ear gets some sun. Let the water drop. Pick up your ear. As your ear comes across, notice that now your arm is kind of hanging on your collarbone. Let's just exaggerate a little bit, releasing that, like your collarbone's a bungee cord, and your hand or ear is going to hang off of it, the elephant ear. Open across your chest, lengthen your collarbone. Open the chest, collarbone, shoulder, elbow. And open the collarbone, sinking. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So when we're rolling our Qi ball at chest, at first we want to focus on feeling like we're really interacting with that sphere. And sometimes that's easier to see from the side. And once I give my attention and my intention permission to really interact with a sphere, and I'm thinking of the Qi ball practice where we do the La and Na, where we make room, bring things together. You can do that with this practice as well, just by letting your hands spread out and let them sink, go the other way, let them spread out, let them gather. And it can get quite like beach ball balloon kind of big. And it can get really small. And there's no right or wrong shape or size, really. It's just for you to engage in curiosity, play, exploration, interaction, tangible sensation. And that's actually what we're seeking, is just tangible interactions. Next posture. And you can play with left or right, up and down. It's up to you. But one hand is going to have your palm right in front of your heart. One is going to have your palm right in front of that spot below your belly button. And in this posture, we want to do vase breathing. So when we inhale half into our belly, half into our chest. Exhale half of our chest, half of our belly. Inhale. Exhale. So I've been exaggerating that, so it won't be as visible now. Lower, middle, empty the middle, empty the lower. Face breathing, fill your belly, fill your chest, empty your chest, empty your belly. Settling our Qi. Go through the 5 pillars. The earth, the soil, our somatic experience, memories, emotions, and just holding them in a good way. Being stable like a mountain, still, metal, receptive, accepting, deep breathing. And also some letting go. Water, stillness and readiness, and fluidity. Wood, for structure, elasticity, tone, big, stretchy, reaching, opening, heels to your fingertips. And fire, being expressive, being open. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, just closing your practice. Inhale, closing the practice. Coming down the midline, sealing any energetic boundaries you need. Feeling the shape of that protective Qi bubble, just relaxing. Last closing. Closing your midline, sealing your energy. Inhale. Bring your feet together. Exhale. You choose, you can bow to the generations that have come before. It's optional, you don't have to do that. This is also optional, but you can take a sense of the Qi you've cultivated today and send it to everyone in the world or to someone specific. And just breathe in. And send that good Qi to where it needs to go. And that's a way of expressing our generosity and gratitude for having our practice and being able to share it.